Hello everyone, this is G and I'm back with another video. It is, it's a little after 7 a.m. Here in New York City, early morning for me. I would usually be up either cooking or probably exercising or, something productive at this time, but I actually found it hard to sleep last night because YouTube done pissed me off. Right, as I said in two or three videos now, I only intended to make two. Let me get my hands in frame. To make two yesterday. I ended up making like 4 or 5 because this whole thing just become a fiasco because YouTube. So, few things. Number one, as much as I personally hate to do it, I'm probably going to be getting a Twitter account, mainly just because I need to be able to reach YouTube in every available facet that I can. If they're going to start a fight with me, if they're going to try to silence my voice, and not only my voice, but as I have put in this image here, also your voice, and by you I mean you, dear viewer, and I will be getting to that. If I have any chance of trying to at least call them out, right? Trying to, hold them accountable for what they do, especially when they won't even give an explanation for what they do. Well, I need to be able to use every means available to me. And as much as I personally cannot stand Twitter, I get caught up in enough Twitter drama without having a Twitter account. But I need to be able to reach them in every means possible, right? So I'm probably going to be starting a Twitter account. I will let you guys know when the account is live. So there's that. So there I go. I have to break my rule of never having a Twitter account. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks a lot. So there's that. So the video today, right? As I said in last night's video, which was, of course, very, very, very poorly lit because, it was like at midnight, close to midnight, right? Like 11:30, 12 o'clock. And you don't get natural light, especially in New York City at that time of the early morning. But I woke up this morning and I realized something, right? That by shutting down the comment section of now two of my videos, right? The Courtney 1986 doll one, which was the first one they attacked. First one YouTube attacked for no reason. They literally do not give a reason. If you click on learn more, right? They will just pretty much talk about, the safety, right, or the safety of minors. As I explained in the follow-up video, and I've mentioned in the several videos that I've made past that, that video did not feature a child in either the imagery, right? The closest thing to kids are the avatars that Neon and Geeky use to represent themselves, and they are two grown adults. They are married with kids, right? One of their son's a teenager, if I remember correctly, but they themselves aren't kids, right? Their avatars might be kids, but they've been using those avatars. That was a screen cap that I took from their video to talk about the Courtney doll, right? But they've been using that avatar forever. Their comment sections are locked down, nor of course do I want them to be. I'm just saying there were no children in the video. I didn't feature the doll itself, right? Yet the comment section gets locked down and YouTube doesn't tell me why. And believe me, even when you have this little thing you scroll down and it says, what's information helpful? I click no, and I wrote in the box like stop shutting down my comment sections. So believe me, I am making them aware, and I will continue to make them aware of what they are doing and how displeased I am with what they are doing. And then the second video that had the comment section locked again, not with my approval. I didn't do this. They just do it. I have nothing to do with this. I am just as surprised as anyone else. Is the video I did on Pedro Pascal. Oh, and YouTube, can you please stop putting the AP has called the selection? As I've said it in that video, I don't care if the AP called the election. Dewey defeats Truman. Okay? You're media. YouTube is media. The Associated Press is media. I don't care if they called the election. Don't care at all. Doesn't mean that they're right. Might they be right? Could they be right? Yes, they could. We'll see on January 20th. But it doesn't mean they are not the law. You are not Judge Dredd, okay? You are not the law. So please stop. I don't give a damn what the Associated Press calls. They can call a cab for all I care. Stop it. Putting the Associated Press has called the election for Biden does not make me believe it. Okay, this is social media. I treat it like opposite day. Whatever social media says, the opposite has to be true. That's the situation you have put me in as not only a content creator, but as a consumer, a viewer of your content. I don't believe a word anybody in the mainstream says. So there's that, right? But so for comment sections or comments in general, especially for those who are new to the channel, right? Understand something. I work hard, and I have worked hard to create a space where people can say what they like. The only rule in my comment section is don't be a jerk. Don't troll, don't be a jerk. Otherwise, you can say what you like. So it is not me that is trying to silence people or shut down comment sections. I don't do that. You can look at the 300 plus videos that I have in my nearly 2 year long career, does that count? As a YouTube content creator. I have never once shut down a comment section. And fortunately, I very rarely have to, delete comments or remove people or anything like that. And the very few times that I have, it's because they were trolling, right? They were being offensive for the sake of being offensive, and I let the person know. I will literally give a person 3 attempts. I will tell you, look, you're being a jerk, please stop. If you don't, then yeah, I'll bounce you, I'll remove you, I'll block you, whatever it is I have to do, and I will make a post about it. That's happened on less than 5 videos, or out of 300. One second. Yeah. Right? So obviously not something I have to do often because my audience, while small, is a very respectful audience. They're respectful of each other and they're respectful of me even when we disagree, which is the most important type of respect to have. Respect even when you don't see eye to eye. So for anyone, especially moving forward, right? For anyone who sees that their comment didn't get posted, that's YouTube. You can let me know, assuming the comment section's open, because again, that's YouTube, not me. But I will check because on occasion YouTube will not post comments, but they'll just basically hold them for review. And what I've taken to doing is that if a comment doesn't post, especially if someone lets me know it didn't post, I'll check. Usually it's not there, so usually they just delete it out of hand. But occasionally it's there or it appears later. I always check whenever I make a video. I check to see if any comments were held over. And I'll approve the comment, so long as it's not a trolling comment or one of those bot things where it's like, looking for a hot date tonight, right? Those type of things. Otherwise, I'll approve the comment. But again, YouTube has now shut down count it, 2 of my comment sections for reasons unknown. So please understand, if the comment section is shut down, it's not me. I've made over 300 videos at this point and never shut down a comment section. I can get pissed off, I can get angry, but I'm not that sensitive, okay? I live in New York City. You develop a tough skin, especially living in the neighborhood I do. Living in the inner city, you have to develop a tough skin or you die, right? But anyway, so if a comment doesn't get posted, it's YouTube. The comment section is suddenly shut down, it's YouTube. If I had a reason or a need to delete someone or to shut down a comment section, believe me, I'd tell you. Because I see no point in hiding anything. I've told people when I have, deleted a person's comments for trolling, and let me give an example of trolling, right? Making fun of my weight is trolling, right? Because it's quite obvious I am fat. My being fat has nothing to do with my opinions. I don't give out health advice. I don't talk about being fat. Right? So making fun of my weight in an attempt to piss me off is trolling. And yeah, I will bounce a person for that. Right? Or again, if you say things that are offensive for the sake of being offensive, right? You insult me, you insult others. I will give a warning. I will give 3 warnings. If you don't heed them, I will bounce you, and then I will pin a comment explaining why you were removed. Ask anybody who's been a long time viewer of the channel. That's how I operate. So I'm not trying to silence people. I'm certainly not trying to shut down my own comment sections. That's another thing. By shutting down the comment sections, by YouTube doing this, by YouTube shutting down the comment sections before I'm even aware of it, I don't get any notice of these things. Of the, in my opinion, negative, harmful, harassing uh, actions, in my opinion, that YouTube has taken against me. The only one they actually told me about is when they removed the thumbnail from my Jennifer Lopez Super Bowl video back in February. For those who don't know of that saga, I made a video back in February. Sorry for the phone call. I made a video back in February about J-Lo in the Super Bowl because there was, of course, a controversy because there was a very brief moment, where she was on a pole because she had a stripper movie coming out and whatnot. I thought that the controversy was asinine, and I made about, 2 videos maybe, explaining such. And for one video, one that I did in early February, I think it was late January, early February, I used a picture, of her in that famous, risque green dress, right? The same picture that's been going around for years, for 20 years, the picture that created Google Images, right? As not just marketing, right? Not just as an image saying, "Hey, look at this video," but also as creative expression, right? As proof of what I was talking about, right? Jennifer Lopez has never been a kid-friendly artist, right? In my opinion, no artist truly is kid-friendly, right? But 8 months, right? This was back in October, so like 7, 8 months after that video, right? And people commented, people watched it, people moved on as people do. Suddenly, YouTube sends me an email early October saying that the thumbnail was offensive. And it took me time because I've got a lot of stuff to do, but I followed up with them eventually and pretty much said, and how, right? Because every channel, including Jennifer Lopez's own channel, has used that image. You can easily go on Google or YouTube and go Jennifer Lopez green dress, and you will see plenty of images of that skin-bearing green dress she is famous for. So why can they use it and I can't? Right? That's what I want to know. So there's where this saga starts for those who are new to this. And it's now continued and escalated with YouTube shutting down 2 of my comment sections without notifying me, without asking me for approval, telling me why, anything. It's just suddenly check and there's no comments. Especially on the Pedro Pascal one because there had been comments, like 5 I think it was. But still, comments are comments, right? And suddenly it went from 5 comments to 0. I'm like, what in the world happened? So I check it and it's locked, right? Which of course makes me, especially if you're new to my content, it makes me look bad because it makes me look like I can talk the talk but not walk the walk, which is untrue, right? So it misrepresents me. Their actions make me look bad, misrepresent me, which I can't stand. I'm a big girl, literally. I'm I'm in my mid 30s, right? In like 4 or 5 years, I'll be 40. I can speak up for myself. I can deal with it if people disagree with me. I'm a big girl. I'm a grown woman, right? As the saying goes, I'm a grown ass woman. I can take the heat. I don't need YouTube to shut down my comment sections or protect me or protect others from what I have to say, right? And now to the topic of this image here, right? YouTube, in my opinion, by silencing, they haven't really silenced me yet because they haven't taken down any of my videos thus far, right? Although I do consider these to be attempts at silencing me, and I don't like that. But really, by shutting down the comment sections in my videos, in these 2 videos that I made yesterday, what YouTube, in my opinion, has done is that they have silenced diverse voices. They have silenced you, dear viewer. They have silenced the YouTube viewer the YouTube commenter, right? Because they know that because I'm too small to monetize, I just made what, about 500. Yay! That's because of you guys. Thank you all. Right? So I'm not a big enough channel to monetize, and as I've said several times, once I do reach that 1,000 threshold, I'm still not going to monetize. I don't see how in the world I could do such a thing in this particular climate. I'm not criticizing others who do. I don't quite understand others who do, but I'm not criticizing. But for me, it's not something I would do. I'm not going to monetize my YouTube channel, at least not anytime soon, right? Maybe if the platform and just the general atmosphere on social media were different and were more open to uh, not screwing people over for saying what they think, right? Maybe I would, but at this point in time, I'm not. I'm not going to monetize my channel. I especially with this going on, and I did a video last night about Josiah Rises being demonetized. I personally feel that monetization would just be putting a collar, putting a YouTube collar around my neck. Like, remember with the X-Men, in particular the old school X-Men cartoon, they had an episode, I think it was called Slave Island, and it's when the X-Men are kidnapped and they've all got to wear these slave collars, and every time they disobey, right, the slave collar, shocks them to make them submit. For me, I want to be clear. For me, that's what monetization would be. It would be putting on a slave collar, right, and then being punished, right? Being punished every time I disobey. And disobedience, in this case, as we all know, is A, not being financially viable for YouTube, and B, saying what you think, especially if what you think is contrary to the mainstream popular narrative. As I said in the Josiah Rises video, just because the mainstream is the mainstream doesn't mean they're right. Just because you disagree with the mainstream doesn't mean you are wrong. Right? So I view monetization for me as putting on a slave collar, and I am no one's slave. I am no one's slave. Right? I am descended from slaves and savages, and I will not be a slave or a savage. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what the tone of my skin. I'm no person's slave. I bow down to exactly two people, God and Shirley Manson. And YouTube is neither. So, I will not be monetizing YouTube. You do not have hold or control over me or what I say. Now, here's the thing. They know that I'm not going to monetize. They always remind me whenever I go into YouTube Studio that I can't monetize because I'm not big enough. I don't care. But here's the thing. While they cannot necessarily harm me because none of my content is so egregious, nothing that I talk about or take issue with is so egregious that it can actually be pulled, right? They would have to notify me if they actually pull the video, right? So that hasn't happened yet. But while they cannot necessarily silence me, they can and they have silenced you, dear viewer, by shutting down the comments section, especially against my will, right? It's not what I would want. They silence the very diverse comment section that I have spent 2 years trying to build, right? When with YouTube now arbitrarily shutting down at least my comment sections, I don't know if other people are dealing with this. All I know is I'm dealing with it, and that's more than enough, right? But by shutting down the comment section on two videos, right? YouTube silenced men, YouTube silenced women, YouTube silenced people of color, YouTube silenced non-people of color, YouTube silenced Republicans, they silenced non-Republicans, they silenced people who are trans or genderqueer, however you want to identify. They silenced my international audience. I have people who watch from the Netherlands. Hey, Sturgeon. I have people who watch from Italy. I have people who watch from Africa. I have people who watch from different parts of not only the U.S., but the world, right? And when the video when the comment section gets locked, those people now don't have a way of interacting with me or each other, and I don't have a way of interacting with them. We cannot have conversations. Anybody who's been a long-time viewer of the channel will know that I am very big on conversation. I have said in many videos, I don't care if you disagree with me. Hell, I want you to disagree with me at times. But what I want even more than that is conversation. And well, you can only have conversation on YouTube if you have an active, open comment section. So with YouTube doing this, not only do they stifle my creative freedom and my ability to interact, right, and continue the conversation with my audience, they also stop the audience from having a conversation with me, a female, non-white, brown, biracial woman of color. And while I don't usually highlight that, I am what YouTube would call a diverse voice, which means that especially if we're going by the progressive stack, I rank pretty damn high. So why are you silencing me, YouTube? You can't claim that you support diverse voices and then shut down those diverse voices from being able to speak. Sturge's voice is diverse. AL's voice is diverse. Sindel Cat's voice is diverse. Tyler Dodd's voice is diverse. Right? Patrick Buckley, his voice is diverse. They're all regular commenters. And many others, right? Hinata-chan, she's comments on occasion. Her voice is diverse. Everybody's voice is diverse. But when you do not give them a means to speak, either verbally like this, audio visual, again like this, or through a comment section, which is how most people are going to interact, right? If you're not making a video, you're usually commenting on it. How do we get to interact? How do we get to say our piece? How do we get to have conversation? How do we get to speak our minds? We can't. We can't do that if YouTube just shuts down comment sections arbitrarily for our safety. Of course, they claim it's the safety of minors, despite the fact that, as I've said several times and literally put in nearly every video, I don't make content for minors. I'm a 35-year-old childless woman. Kids are not my audience. Okay? If I wanted to make the content for kids, that's what I do. I don't make content for children. Don't have them. Nothing in my life involves kids. I cover things that maybe kids would enjoy, comics, video games, TV. But then again, these are things that people of all ages can enjoy. So again, that's not a reason to shut down my comment section, especially after 300 plus videos of covering this type of content for nearly 2 years. This is not about me being, or about the comments or the comment section being potentially harmful for kids. In my opinion, and again, YouTube hasn't sent me anything, so if I'm wrong, YouTube, you need to let a girl know. But in my opinion, this is YouTube trying to silence me. This is YouTube trying to stifle my creative freedom. This is YouTube trying to silence you, dear viewer, stifle your freedom, stifle your ability to tell me, and by extension tell them, what you think, right? This is the suppression of diverse voices, not just mine, because I can still say what I want, but your voice. Your voice is important, and your voice is diverse, and that's a part of the reason why I make videos, so that you have a place to say what you think, what's on your mind. And now they have taken that from you, dear viewer, right? So there's all that, right? So YouTube, if you are truly about diversity, then allow me to be the diverse creator that I am. Allow me to have my videos, my comment sections open so that the diverse voices that both agree and disagree with me have a place to say their piece. Okay? That's all I gotta say about it. If you truly care about diversity, let diversity stand. If you truly care about diversity, let diverse voices actually speak up and have their say. Leave my channel alone If I've actually done something wrong, actually let me know. Show me exactly where in your Vegas all hell policies I've actually violated a rule, and we can talk about it. But at this point, from best I can tell, YouTube, you are harassing me. You are harassing and suppressing the voices of my audience, of my sincere, right, hard fought, well earned, diverse audience, which includes New Yorkers, which includes men, women, Asians, blacks, Hispanics, people who don't identify as anything, and many, many, many others. And I know this because these are tidbits that people have felt comfortable enough to share with me. There's a trust here, and you're violating that, YouTube. I created a space where people felt comfortable enough to tell me these things in a public space, no less, because they know I'm not going to shame them for it. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're trans or anything else. I care about what you think. I care about what you have to say, not what checkbox you fall under. Same way the checkboxes I fall under don't mean a damn thing. The checkboxes you fall under don't mean a damn thing. But since checkboxes are all that YouTube cares about, understand something, YouTube. You are silencing diverse voices. You are being an oppressor. And I do not like oppression. And I will not be oppressed. I'm going to keep coming at you and calling you out until you leave me alone and until you start actually supporting the very things you claim to be supporters of, right? If you honestly care about diverse voices, YouTube, then let diverse voices speak. Let them have their say. Leave the comments section alone. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. YouTube started this fight, but I'm going to continue it until one wins and one loses. So, yeah, like I said, I'll be getting a Twitter at some point. This makes my skin crawl. I hate Twitter. Twitter is not real life, people. And also, if anyone knows of a alternate platform, I understand, people are still going to use YouTube and all that, but I want to at least have an alternate platform ready in case YouTube takes further oppressive action against my channel in some fashion, right? So I want to have a place where I can, post content over there. Probably start double posting one here and one over there. So if anyone knows of any platform, right, especially one that maybe they would use, personally one they would go to, right? Um, I've heard some people say BitChute or Minds, right? So you have any opinions, assuming you can tell me, assuming the comment section on this video doesn't get locked. But if anybody has any opinions about alternate sites to YouTube that I could start uploading on, please let me know, because I'm a very small channel with barely over 500 people, and now I've got to start thinking about other places to post at because of YouTube acting in what I believe to be a very oppressive, harassing manner, silencing diverse voices. So I can't imagine what it's like for people who have a viewer base, subscriber base larger than mine, and especially those who monetize. My heart goes out to y'all. My heart goes out to y'all. So, anyway, if you're still able to actually comment on this video, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you know of any alternate sites to YouTube. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good day or night. Be happy, be healthy, be safe. Bye.